Hey everybody, please excuse my messy home. I'm going to try not to focus on that too much, but I wanted to introduce you to the pups because I'm doing a video here on desert maintenance for the senior dog. It's very important. So we have 3 dogs in our immediate Havrilla Mafia family. This is Nicky Pineapples. He's a 16-year-old min pin that we rescued from Minnesota Miniature Pinscher Rescue Society. He has no teeth. He's blind in one eye. He is our lover boy who gets angry at everyone but us. I know it wouldn't seem like it now. He's your typical cranky old dog. But he moves around fairly well, doesn't have much ambulatory issues. Over here we got Gracie Lou, who hates being on camera. She might move. Gracie Lou was a Costa Rica street dog who adopted us when we were on vacation. And we just could not do without Gracie Lou. So we came home, started a GoFundMe page, and the community helped us scrape together enough money to fly her up from Costa Rica to join the family. She's been a wonderful addition from day one. She's like the one pup we were missing. She's our girl. She is, we believe, 11 years old. We guessed she was around 4 when she was adopted. We're going to give an honorable mention to Mr. Joe, Mr. Mojo, Jojo, the Black Lab extraordinaire. He is a 10-year-old Black Lab, my roommate's dog. And he's a good dog. He's with our group a good portion of the time while Scotty's at work. So we love Mojo Jojo. He's another senior dog. Has a few hip problems, so it's good to keep stuff maintained for him as well. In here, relaxing in his kennel by his choice, it's a safe spot. We have Frankie Figs, senior pug extraordinaire. He's 16 years old, just like Nick. We rescued him by adopting him from a family in Wisconsin who could no longer care for him. But Frankie Figs is almost fully blind at this point, and he is currently fighting very hard against valley fever. It's wrecking his system, so we're doing everything we can to make our big guy more. I think I cut myself off a little bit there, but Frankie is currently fighting valley fever. Not all dogs can survive it. It's specific to this area of the nation. I caught valley fever. Because of the immune suppressants I have to take for my arthritis, I will be taking antifungal medicines for the rest of my life, probably. Because that's what valley fever is. It's a fungus that only exists in these soil conditions. You breathe it in and it colonizes in your lungs or other areas of your body. And it's like a fungal pneumonia. Frankie Figs is fighting hard. We've got an amazing vet that is giving him special care, has taken him during the day 2 days in a row and given him IV fluids, making sure that he's comfortable and monitoring his condition. He's going back tomorrow for another day trip, but he's in good hands. I every day hope to see more signs of recovery, but I think maybe it might be there. We might be seeing a little. So what we need to do is make things as easy as we can for our senior dogs here in the backyard. Frank has been coughing non-stop for 3 weeks, literally non-stop. The poor guy, he gets sleep in 15, 25-minute snatches, which means I get sleep in 15, 25-minute snatches. It sucks. I know exactly what he's going through because I'm going through it with him. And we need to make sure that he can move around because now he's having arthritis flares in his hip and his back because he's been coughing so much, just like we would if it was going nuts for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I came out here yesterday and I raked the yard. I got everything. Now we've got 4 pups, so you'll see a couple plinkers that have already been dropped out here. But what I did was I went through the entire yard with a rock rake. Okay? Now, the trick is not to use just the right tool. It's using the tool right. Now, you can go through and you can use a rock rake and scrape everything, but you're still going to miss stuff that goes through the tines. You're working with sand in this condition. So you don't necessarily need to use the tines. It is sometimes much more effective to tip it over and use the back of your rock rake. You want to remember that, because that way you can make piles of your poop and your extra mulch, which is what I did yesterday. I made piles of the poop and the extra mulch because these poops here, once they've been out in 100-degree sun for over a day, are hard as rocks. They're like little stones. And that's something that is not comfortable on the feet of little pug-a-lugs who can't see what they're stepping on. We needed to make sure my pug-a-lug could move around with his bad hips that are getting him so bad. So I went through the yard there with my rock rake. The tines work great in areas like this where you have to get more pieces of mulch out of the grassy areas and such like that. So I use the tines more in through here in the grass. Once I got the bigger chunks of mulch out of the grass, I drug it with the flat side. I made sure to get around the beds. You're not going to get everything, but I made sure I got around the beds as well as I could, paying special concentration to the areas where he walks a lot when he's trying to pee. I made sure I got the areas where he likes to stroll very well. Okay? I'm not worried about saving the mulch or recovering it in this particular case. So I ended up making 7 piles. Yes, 7 piles. Just from mulch and some poop, but mostly mulch that had escaped the beds due to bird activity, quails making nests and such like that, wind or occasional rainstorms. Haven't had a whole lot of that yet. But your mulch is going to leave your bed. It's just a matter of fact. You can see right here that someone nuzzled in a little bit and made a depression. So I go through fairly regularly and even stuff out. But animals like what you're doing too. They're going to bed out in your stuff. You got to make sure you go through and clear. See, some little bird bitch has already kicked out a bunch of mulch there out of what I cleared out yesterday. But I cleared out all this. I got in between each bed where he likes to walk around a bit. I made sure his path was clear here. Like I said, we made 7 piles, and then my roommate came out with the wheelbarrow. Scotty wheelbarrowed up all 7 piles and dumped them out back on a berm that we have. Now, this is an ongoing process. You're going to have to get the poop fairly regularly, because while you probably, like me, thought, I've moved to the desert, I've got sand and no more grass, I'm not going to have to do squat, your poop turns into hard rocks and you need to get rid of it fairly regularly. Not going to be much different than when you lived up north or any place else. Your mulch is going to trip your dogs up and hurt their feet, but I find that I really only have to do this maybe once a month. It's a lot of repetitive motion, but it's not something that requires a lot of strength. I can say, although it's a lot of repetitive motion, that repetitive motion kicked my ass. It put me on my ass today, so I'm not doing anything after yesterday. I will say outside of the dog areas, I did mulch reclamation a little bit differently. These are some of my older, more established trees. And you can see I need to reestablish the berm around the edge of the bed there. That's washed out some because I used sand. But this mulch was everywhere, all over here, everywhere. It was all around all of the beds. But I went through and I reclaimed a lot of it. Now, I wasn't worried about being fancy. I wasn't worried about being pretty. I don't care if I filter it and get all the seeds out and stuff, because these aren't my pretty beds. These are my effective beds. But you can see already, little bastages are kicking my stuff out. So I gotta kick it back in there to make sure that my irrigation line stays buried. But you can see around this one, my rake marks. Got this one all set up. You can see my rake marks around it where I gathered up all the loose mulch and then just gave it a kick back in there. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. If you're super anal retentive and you want it to be fancy, you can always pile all of your mulch into a large pot that has watering holes in the bottom. And then shake it vigorously until the seeds and the weeds and stuff like that come out and you have mostly mulch remaining. That's up to you. I don't think it's worth the work myself, but mulch reclamation is also important for the health of your trees. You will lose your mulch. You will need to reclaim some of it. You will need to make sure your irrigation line stays buried in this crazy hot sun. So take care of your mulch reclamation on your outside the fence line. And I highly suggest inside the fence line going through regularly and making sure that your yard is mulch and poop free for your senior dogs. They will love you for it. They will appreciate you for it. And it will make it so much easier for them to walk. I'm going to get the old weed whacker out here and level out some of the taller grass. That should make things even easier for my Frankie boy. Please keep your fingers crossed for Frankie Figs. We are hoping and praying for a full recovery, but that's not always something that happens with valley fever with dogs. So please send him out some good vibes. We'll give you updates on him with future videos as well. But take care of your senior dogs. They love you. They've been with you their whole life. It's not just the heat. It's not just the sun. And oh, one more point. If you're living out here in the desert, you're probably going to have a lot of harvester ants. We have a whole lot of harvester ants. You're not going to be able to fight them off. You're not going to get rid of them. You can pour lighter fluid down their hole and light it on fire, and it's not going to get rid of them. Your harvester ants are there. What you want to do is don't mess around with your horned toads. You've got horned toads around here that are eating the hell out of your harvester ants because that is their main food source. Those are your buddies. Those are your good guys. Don't scare them off. Don't mess with their homes if you find them. If they're hanging out in your tree beds, leave them. They're not hurting nothing. They're just in there looking for ants. The best defense against harvester ants, which hurt like hell if they bite you, is a good horned toad population. I'll swear by that and stand to it. So please like and follow. Please take care of your yard for your senior dogs. They deserve the little extra work and the love. You might have to take a day off afterwards, but with my entire backyard, if I had been healthy and hale, it would have taken about 20 minutes to rake everything out. I had to do it in 3 15-minute sessions, but if I had been good, it would have taken about 20 minutes. So take care of your pups. Please like and follow. Love y'all. Smoke a bowl for me. I'll smoke one for you.